So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
And this is Marcus from Northlane.
And we're asking some questions today about their upcoming album, Obsidian. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Yeah, it's been awesome so far. It's been really exciting to kind of get back into releasing music again after so long. And yeah, it's kind of just exciting, really, just to be getting back into what we love doing. Yeah,
definitely. And shows on the calendar as well. I'm trying to catch you guys in Philly.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I can't wait to be coming back to the US. I mean, the last time we were there, it was the best time we'd ever had there in terms of, you know, crowd response and just general vibe over there. So it's kind of a bummer to kind of have to stop touring so suddenly and not be able to get over there for such a long time. So we're really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
For sure. I just want to say we got an advance of the album and it is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really good.
It's very good.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
I guess the cover art is meant to just kind of reflect the title, which in itself is, I guess it's just kind of meant to be just that idea of something being destroyed and turned to like just this rock, turned into this volcanic rock. It kind of felt like over the last couple of years that everything was kind of just turning to crap. And I don't know, it felt like quite a dark time for me personally, just trying to write and trying to navigate through lockdown. It felt like quite a tough, dark time. And I just think, yeah, Obsidian kind of reflects that and reflects the songs on the album as well.
For sure.
For sure.
So speaking of the writing, can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
Yeah, well, it starts how it usually starts, which is John sending through instrumentals, which will kind of change over time, but that kind of gives us the first little taste of what we're meant to be doing and what direction we're heading in. But in terms of lyrics and stuff, it was kind of hard to know where to take this album. I feel like with our last album, Alien, I started getting into very detailed personal stories that I really enjoyed writing, and I think people related to, but I kind of received a lot of backlash from family and people who may kind of know where the songs are coming from, which isn't necessarily fair on their part, but I kind of just felt this weight of like, I don't really want to keep going into this and causing any pain that I don't need to be. But yeah, then when it came to this album, it felt really hard to know where to take that. And for me, it kind of just ended up being an album of songs that we're kind of just talking about that anxiety and that kind of pressure and that stress, and then also just the kind of feelings that I'm sure a lot of people were feeling over the last couple of years through lockdown and everything else.
Since you guys went into so many lockdowns, and obviously I'm sure you worked on this album through most of lockdown, how did you kind of know when it was time to like finish it, package it up, send it off to the label, because you guys had the open, close?
Yeah, well, I think we knew that we had a lot of time to do it, so we actually set ourselves like a deadline and like a time where we'd all get together and spend a month in a little studio house, and then that would be it. I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, it can be really easy to get just distracted in the little details and kind of want to take forever with it, but for us, we kind of spent a lot of time writing before we got into the studio. I still had a lot of stuff to do once we got there, but I mean, just having that preparation time and knowing what your goal is and knowing when you have to kind of wrap it all up by, I think that kind of gives you a good amount of pressure that isn't like too stressful, but you know you got to get it done. But yeah, I mean, for us, I feel like we could always keep adding bits and pieces. I'm sure John would love to keep tinkering away at little electronic sounds, and I'm sure there's little vocal mix stuff that I would like to change. But yeah, for us, we know like when we're going to take it too far and when we need to stop anyway. But
fair enough.
That's why we set ourselves a deadline.
That's good.
That's fine. And I'd actually like to shift back. You mentioned that you got backlash when you wrote about personal experiences, and maybe it was in a lot of detail where people are actually able to pick up what you were talking about. Do you still feel comfortable enough to write about personal experiences, but maybe just not in that much detail?
Yeah, I think that's where this album has kind of ended up as well. It's not telling stories of specific events that happened in my childhood or whatever. It's a bit more open and a bit more general, but I think that also means like people are going to be able to relate to that in a way that maybe people who hadn't gone through the same stuff that I'd gone through and just talked about on Alien. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
They might relate to this a bit more. But there's definitely still a personal level, a personal element, and like the first song is also kind of the last kind of personal and detailed song of those experiences. And it's kind of talking about that thing of people having these opinions about these songs I wrote within my family, but not really understanding. But then from that point, it's also like, well, I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but I just needed to say this last little bit.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Can we meet your cat, please?
Yeah.
I can see you guys are distracted. This is Yoko. Yoko, say hello.
Oh my god! Are they a kitten?
No, she's like 7 or 8 years old. She's just like a bit small.
Yeah. Oh.
She's my little kitty.
I love
She
her.
popped out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit, we have to meet her right now.
Yeah.
She does this every time I'm doing press stuff. She just jumps on my lap and wants to get involved. So
She loves the spotlight.
yeah, she wants to do it more than I do, I think.
I totally get it.
So
Awesome.
I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this album and the meaning behind it.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, let me have a quick think about that.
A lot of lyrics.
Yes, there are. I mean, there's a lot of lyrics that I'm really proud of just because of how, I don't know, just I feel like I really worked on my lyric writing this album in terms of just trying to expand my metaphorical writing a bit more and a bit more get out of the personal vibes.
While you're thinking of that, I want to ask, because you said you had to switch from writing about personal experiences to more of a metaphorical writing process. Was that like a good thing? Were you happy that you kind of had to force yourself into that realm versus just writing like pure, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was kind of exciting, to be honest, to try and do something different because I think that's how I've always written, has been really personal. Whereas, I think I was just listening to a lot of music through lockdown that was, super metaphorical or like used these really cool stories to tell a different thing, which is something that I always really connected with. That's not I was going to say something about Zen, which is probably one of my favorite songs, but I'll probably go into Cypher for the lyrics because there's just a lot of Matrix references in that that aren't really like too on the nose, but if you're like know what you're looking for, are kind of cool. Like, I don't know, no one, which is like one in, no one, no prodigy will speak for me. So no one is meant to mean like the one, Neo. But then again, that whole song is also meant to be this idea of like, if we were in the Matrix or whatever we're in right now, I would rather be in like something not real that was like perfect than in this kind of real world that's a bit of a mess. And that was kind of the metaphor that connects this song about the Matrix to our world, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's a lot of lyrics through that are kind of referencing little bits about the Matrix, I guess, that I was like stoked about. But there's more than that. I was just like reading that yesterday, and being like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of the Matrix, I know a new one just came out. What did you think of it? Because I just like to hear your opinion.
This is really funny. This will be, I think, the third interview I've done where I've like done a little makeshift Matrix review.
Oh my god!
Which is fine. I'll promote the Matrix. So this is what my thoughts are. I really enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people didn't. But the thing that I've always gotten out of The Matrix is that if you were to just watch the movie as just like an action sci-fi movie, let's talk about like the original trilogy or the original Matrix. If you look at that just as like a sci-fi action movie, you're like, yeah, this is sick. But if you like go in deep and look at all the details of everything, there's so much more to like learn about. I guess there's definitely a deeper message to the Matrix movies. And I found that with this new one as well, even though maybe like the fight scenes weren't as like technically cool as the old ones, I thought the story itself was like really interesting, because it's this idea like you can kind of look deeper beyond everything and look into the little detail of everything and see that there is deeper meaning. But if you want to just look at it as a surface level action movie, then that is there as well, which I think The Matrix has always done really well. It's like if people really want to dive deep into the lore of that, then they can.
That was good. I like that. All right.
I understand not everyone is into it, but if you want to dive deep, there's definitely something there.
You got a point. All
Good
right.
review. So
3.5 stars.
Out of 10?
Out of 5. We'll get out of 5.
I was like, wow. All right.
So back to your album. How did the track list for the album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around, see what fits? What was that process like? There were definitely songs that we knew kind of where we wanted them on the album before they even had vocals on them. So like, Clarity we always had in mind as being like an intro song. But in that sense though, everything kind of happened really naturally, where like Say for Clarity, that was the last song I kind of wrote in the same theme of Alien, which is kind of interesting that it was the first song. So it's like the last thing you'll hear from Alien is the first song on this album, and then we go into this new kind of journey. But then with everything else, I feel like it just all kind of happened really naturally. I think we're usually really tough at trying to figure out the right track listing, and we'll always just back and forth over it for so long and never know exactly if it's right. We're never quite sure, but with this one, it kind of just happened naturally, where all the songs kind of flowed into each other, and even though they're not telling like a detailed story, they felt like they flowed in a way that was telling something, was kind of revealing just different feelings and different emotions of kind of dealing with anxiety and stress and depression and stuff.
Sure.
I'm glad this one was more natural, because you guys could have absolutely driven yourself nuts during the pandemic, just shuffling track lists every day.
There's definitely, there would have definitely been days during the pandemic where we were just overthinking everything, especially when we're in the studio as well. We're just like, oh, I don't know. But I think we've managed to come out of it pretty good and not too stressed. I think we were able to create something that we're really happy with and really proud of, but like weren't feeling like we were forced to do it, or like we had to kind of make use of time. Like it all kind of happened really naturally. So
that's
really
good.
Happy about that.
That's good. So would you be able to tell us where Headspace is at while you were writing this album?
Yeah, I mean, I was in quite a negative place, I think. Like writing, and even in the studio, I think I was just really feeling the impact of like a year's lockdown at that point, and kind of this not knowing what the future holds kind of feeling. I was really struggling with that, and I think it kind of brought up a lot of doubt in myself about what I want to be doing as well. Like I think there was a part of me that was like, do I even want to be like in a band anymore? Do I even want to be writing like metal anymore? Do I want to be doing whatever? I think there was just so much doubt and fear of like what's going to happen that I was in quite a rough headspace, to be honest. And going into the studio, I kind of had to like lay all that out for the guys and let them know how I've been going, and that I needed to kind of just let some stuff off my chest before I could really get into recording and finishing off the album. It's interesting, because I feel like usually with writing an album or writing music, it's always been a matter of yeah, maybe I'll stress out about it for a while leading up to it, but then I'll get into the studio, or it'll be all done and I'll be really proud of what we've done. I'll be like, oh, awesome, that I just need to do that and get that done, and it's this like weight off my shoulders. But with this album, I feel like because there was no kind of clue what the future holds and where we were going to end up once the album was done, yeah, it was just kind of not quite that therapeutic, and I was just kind of stressing a lot. But now that we've had some time outside of it, I'm really proud of it. But it was just such a hard thing to wrap my head around, not knowing what was my purpose for doing this right now if there's no like clue what the future was going to hold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
Well, I hope you're feeling better about everything now.
Yeah, now that everything's getting back to normal, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, it's all good.
Back in the swing of things. Yeah.
I was just panicking, but you know, it's easy for that to happen. I mean, yeah, no one knew it was going to happen. No one knew when live shows were going to come back, if they were going to come back in the next couple of years. Like, it was so up in the air for so long, and we were just kind of crossing our fingers. So I'm just glad that it's all kind of getting back to normal slowly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's definitely I think it's a big hi-fi, like a big stereo system deal. And probably with your friends, maybe a dance party vibe.
Okay.
Because I feel like there is a lot of, just dancey vibe, 4 to 4 songs. But that being said, there's a lot of heavy stuff too, but it's definitely an album that should be listened to loud and should be party to in a way.
Definitely.
Even though the lyrics aren't really party, the vibe of it's very just like upbeat, and I think there's like a lot of fun in the music itself. So loud from start to finish with your friends.
All right.
Perfect. I love that. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Okay. Depressing.
Okay.
Melancholy.
Okay.
Wait, Yoko's knocking stuff over.
Oh, come on.
Anxious. Yeah,
Anxious.
Did I say that? Yeah, depressing, anxious, miserable. It's just kind of, sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could use one word to sum that up.
Yeah.
So in that same train of thought, but with not as much pressure, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through the album?
Yeah, I guess even though the album is like about kind of anxiety and stress and depression and stuff, I mean, the thing I would want people to take out of it or whatever was just to be that we're all going through the same thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean there's positivity in that. It just means like that there is some comfort in knowing that everyone had to struggle through some pretty rough stuff over the last couple of years, and that it doesn't really matter who you are, but we've all had to figure out how to navigate through a really rough time. And yeah, I just hope people can connect to that in some way. Even though it would be very different to my experience, I think there's still a lot to kind of attach to with this album.
For sure.
100%. All right. So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this record?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, actually, there's a kind of this turnaround point where we're in the studio, where I was kind of like I was saying, stressing out about writing and I was kind of hitting a wall. And that was when I kind of sat the guys down and just told them how I was feeling. And we just had this big chat and had a bit of a cry and whatever.
Yeah.
But then we all got we had like this hot tub spa jacuzzi thing at the studio. And we all just jumped in there, got some beers, and just like sat around listening to music and just talking for ages. And we ended up listening to, I forgot the artist. It's a song called Who Says, and it's like this is kind of a dancey kind of club track from the 90s. And John put it on, and we were just like, what is this? This is silly. It's just this guy like naming towns or cities. He's like, New York and LA.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Whatever song that is. We're listening to that, and we were like, this is kind of cool. Maybe we should try and do something like this for the song that is now Is This a Test? And that's where like the inspiration for this kind of like 3-line lyric that's kind of repetitive and gets stuck in your head, but isn't like too much for people to consume. We're like, yeah, let's try something like that for. Oh my gosh, get off, yeah, okay. Let's try that for this song for Cyberdoof. Now Is This a Test? And that's just this memory of us just all like giggling in the spa, just like coming up with this idea for one of our songs by listening to this other song. So yeah, I just remember that, and it just felt like a good release after having this like emotional moment. It was just like, okay, we're all good and we're all here for each other and we're all listening. Now let's just have fun and be dumb in the jacuzzi.
That's super sick.
I love that. Yeah, that's good.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh yeah, I've actually been missing the snack stop at the service station. Usually when I'm in the UK, I'll have this specific type of like crinkle cut chips called Riffles.
Oh.
I really like them. I like Reese's peanut butter cups a lot. Usually when we're in the US, I get them. Nerds.
Yep.
I'm like a sweet tooth, so I get lots of dumb crap like that. Nerds and lots of Wonka stuff. Actually, is it Wonka in the US? Because
yeah,
it isn't Wonka here.
Yeah. Like Wonka, like Willy Wonka type stuff.
Yeah, like gobstoppers and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, we have plenty of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, no, not just the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those movies in America? Yeah, so I just get a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
When you guys are in the US, do you go to Wawa? We're from the tri-state area, so I gotta ask.
Yeah.
What is Wawa?
It's like a gas station and food market hybrid.
And they make like sandwiches and
hoagies.
Yeah, hoagies and burgers and pastas. And you guys got to do it next time you're in Philly. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the thing with the? No, that's somewhere else. What's the thing with the chipmunk or whatever?
Oh, that's the one that's in Texas.
Buc-ee's.
That's the Texas one. That's Buc-ee's. Yeah. That's right. I've been there, but I've not heard of Wawa's. There's a bar here called Yaya's, so I'm like,
But it's very much like a New Jersey and Philly thing. So the next time you guys are in Philly over the summer, you have to go.
Oh,
life changing.
Awesome. All right, I'll make sure to do that. Okay. I've been I think there's been a bunch of places in Australia that have been starting to do like legit-ish Philly cheesesteaks. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to Philly and trying like a real one again.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
Oh. Oh no. Sorry, Yoko took my headphones out. One sec.
Oh.
Probably like a pasta dish.
Okay.
I don't know, to be honest. I think we'd probably be. We'd be like a bunch of tacos. Yeah.
That's good.
But with all different ingredients.
Oh, so each taco is different?
Yeah, so I'd probably be like a halloumi taco. Josh would be like a grilled tofu taco guy. I don't know about everyone else, actually. Those are just the two I would know. But I think tacos are good. We all like tacos and Mexican food, so...
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink? We really like food on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's good. I like talking about food.
Possibly more than music.
Yeah. Probably like Five Guys with just like a big like a giant fountain Coke.
Okay.
I'm a simple man, really. Like, just give me like a really nice last burger and like a cold Coca-Cola. I'll be really happy. Yeah.
And then you could get the fries, and they put too many in the bag, and you could eat all of them and pay no consequence.
That's the thing, yeah. Make sure there's like the whole. That would be it. That's just a whole bag of Five Guys fries with a burger and a Coke, and I'm happy. I'm happy to die.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Wait, but are you a Cajun fries or a regular fries?
Honestly, I kind of prefer the regular ones, but I don't mind the Cajun every now and then. I feel like Cajun every time is a bit much. Sometimes you just need like the plain chippies with your burger to counteract that. But when you get the Cajun, you're like,
it's too much.
It's way too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, fictional world. That's a really good one.
Thank you.
Probably The Matrix, I guess, right?
I was thinking that, yeah.
Even though that's probably not that fun, because it just feels like the real world. So probably not The Matrix. But
I mean, but you could be aware of it. But just
maybe
still.
if I was like, I don't know, because I feel like there is like that catch where if you're in the Matrix, then you know, well, you don't know you're in the Matrix, but if you're out of it, then you know it's all fake and you're not content with that. So that's a tough one. So I'm gonna say the Detective Pikachu world.
That's good.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Just so that there'd be Pokemon wandering around everywhere and making me like sushi and stuff. That'd be sick.
So true.
That's a dream.
So I have down there asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Ooh.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, okay.
We're getting
That's an
deep
important
now.
question.
Yeah.
It's very important.
I'm gonna say ocean blue.
That's good.
Ooh.
When I was younger, it was just general blue. But yeah, I've gotten a bit more specific as I've gotten older. I kind of like that. I like that. That reflective blue kind of color that is a bit shiny. I don't know. Ocean blue.
That's good.
Yeah,
all right.
that's good.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
I mean, yeah. Besides the album coming out or out on 22nd of April.
It'll be out by now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not too much. Yeah. I mean, listen to the album, and we'll see you on the US tour that we've just announced with Silent Planet. And who is opening that again? I'm just mind blank. Thank you, Avoid. Yes.
And there's one unannounced opener.
And there's a mystery unannounced one. Yeah. Imagine I just leaked that out of nowhere.
That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
I really want to know.
But yeah, besides that, yeah. I mean, just listen to the album. We'll see you in July, August, and yeah, look forward to it.
Oh yeah! All right. Well, thank you for now. This has been Marcus from Northlane, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.